How unequal was life at this time? How uneven was the wealth shared in society? Well, in Florence in the year 1378, there happened what is now called the Revolt of the Ciompi. And this was an insurrection of Florence's lower classes. These are laborers. So these are not people who are of the middle or upper middle classes. These are people working in the cloth industry in particular. So they demand more equitable fiscal policy, equitable being another word for fair. So they want government policy to to treat them better, to take their needs into account more. They also demand the right of all people to join the guilds. Now, guilds are very central to Renaissance era, to that time period for economic policy. And these are not that different really from when we talk about labor unions now. They're people, sometimes they're an entire industry, sometimes they're an entire business. So meaning no matter who your employer was, if you worked with cloth, maybe you would be a part of this guild, or maybe just your business would be a part of the guild. And so they tried to vouch for the best conditions. They tried to cut off competitors. They tried to do things to get more money, to get more income for their members. So they quickly take over the government in Florence. It's not very long at all before they do. And they put in place a government body that represents all classes. It's an historic first, and it's telling for what life was like at this time. This is early on in the Italian Renaissance that they did this, that there was even a need to do that people were being so shut out in Florence, just a booming place of economic activity. Alas, within about 4 years, the merchants, the manufacturers, the artisans had formed an alliance, and they seized back control of the government, and they put back in place kind of a return to the status quo. So for a brief moment there was a more democratic form of government. There was a different system in place in Florence. But again, it's a very telling episode for what life was like at that time for the people that we usually don't read about in history books.